Welcome to The Quiet Part Out Loud, the podcast where we delve into the topics that everyone's thinking and rarely say out loud. I'm Nuvyn.
And I'm Alex. Today we're talking to Allison Grafton, founder and CEO of Rockwood Custom Homes.
So welcome, Allison. We are so delighted that you've joined us today on our podcast, The Quiet Part Out Loud. Now, we always kick things off with a bit of a fun question. And that provides an opportunity for you to then take us on a bit of your career journey, but in the context of a movie. So if someone were to make a movie about your career, what kind of movie would it be? And what scene would surprise people the most?
So about my career or life and into career?
Both. Life into career.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm very pleased to be here today. And Access and the work that you guys do is outstanding. So thank you so much for having me. And in terms of what would the movie be, I think is the stupidest question, but I'm really happy to answer it. But it's hilarious. Love. Yeah. I fell in love, and then, he controlled my life. No, that's so not true. Not true. I did fall in love, but he did not control my life. I would say that it would be Through Any Odds. That would be my movie. It would be, I'm in the kind of like out of Africa, but you're intense in Africa. But it's not romantic or lovely like that. It's ravage and savage. And that's where I was. And at 23, I was on with an Ivy League school doing a year abroad for archaeology. And it was not going to be my career, but it was going to be my life. And it set the tone for my life. I had a girl has a massive brain aneurysm. Against all odds, against 99.9%.
Oh my
chance
God.
Odds survives. And,
I want to watch this movie.
Recovers in Africa, in a hospital for 6 weeks with, everybody wondering if she was ever going to be okay again. And that was me. And off I went into, having a big life and being able to get married and being able to have children. And it's my drive and my grit and my perseverance and my willpower. It actually fortified in that moment.
Holy shit. That is amazing. I'm just thinking Meryl Streep out of Africa also.
But it was not nice like that. Those tents were lovely. No, I was in scary, bad tents at 100 degrees. And it was against all odds.
Yeah. That is a movie I would go see.
See, that's why we ask this question.
I know, it's kind of interesting. I think that's fascinating. Yeah.
Great. I love it. And so into your career, for our audience, can you tell us a little bit about your background, whatever you want to share? And then I know you've done some pivoting, so I have a question around that.
Okay. So went to UBC and got my degree from UBC, which was fabulous. Started in the world of sales and big corporate sales. I got an unbelievable job with a pharmaceutical company, which was an epic job to get right in your young, right after my brain aneurysm, a year and a bit later. That was my first career job. And then off I started to soar. And in my mid-20s, moved to Calgary and got a big, a bigger job with that big Canadian, or it's actually an international firm. But it was not for me. I knew I didn't want to work for somebody like a big company. The corporate sales training was epic, but not enough. Not what I wanted to do. So I decided to go out on my own and go back to school and take my portfolio management and my securities course and get into the wild world of oil and gas investment banking. I knew a lot of people. I had family in that business, and I did that. And it was powerful. I loved it. I learned so much. You get to, it's a man's world. And and off I went in that regard. And then at 40, after flipping and building 18 houses, I knew that I could disrupt an industry and a market and change an industry for the better. And that's when I started Rockwood. But all through that time, I got married. I have 3 beautiful kids. My life is, busy, full, and now they're adults. So that's been a blessing. But I've done a lot and had so many experiences and fought so many remarkable battles and figure out, now at 57, it's kind of like, what have you done in your life? A shitload.
Everything.
Everything. Yep. Yep.
And you've been so bold and ambitious and disruptive, and I mean that in the most positive way. Is that intentional? Did you set out to say, you know what, here's a problem and I'm going to solve it and I'm going to just plow through it?
I think it's all based on my integrity and my principles and my values in life. No, I set out to change it? You bet, because it was broken in many, many ways. It's a very, the industry I'm in, there's a lot of shortcuts companies take. I did not want to take those shortcuts. There's a lack of deep, honest, sincere client care. I did not want that to happen to them. I mean, I knew from my own experience, right? But to be a disruptor, you need to be brave. And being brave means saying and doing what you know is right. Do the right thing all the time, regardless of the massive pressures that you come under.
I need to share a story that you probably don't know, which is always a great way to start. You're
Uh-oh.
like, oh my God.
Oh,
what is it
God.
now?
Uh-huh.
But I had recently moved to Calgary from DC, and I went to this live-in cardiovascular dinner, and they were doing an auction. And there was an auctioneer. No, it was someone that they probably were like, will you do the auction? And they're like, okay. And they're standing on the stage, and it was so awkward. They're like, $100 here or 5,000. I don't even remember what they were auctioning off.
Yeah.
All I remember is this woman from the crowd gets up and walks on stage and was like, do you want me to do that for you? And that was you. Do you remember that? And it was a great auction, but you were like, you saw someone struggling and you're like, this is not going well.
Let's protect that person, and we have to get this rocking. We have something to do here. We need to raise a lot of money for heart and stroke.
And you walked right up on stage.
You bet I did. And I up the energy and the ante, and people were like, holy shit. My husband was like, Allison, oh my God. We raised a lot of money.
We did.
I took over the auction.
You did. It was awesome.
And helped my very good friends, the Delaries, which were big donors there.
Yeah.
And it was great. That is hilarious.
That was funny. And I remember being like, who is that woman? And I need her in my life, but I think it also speaks to, those qualities that you surround yourself with, like surrounding yourself with people who bring out the best in you and motivate you and encourage you along the way. Talk to us a bit about, how did you navigate through these challenges and these headwinds with your tribe, like with your team of people?
I mean, I have a very good insight in knowing of who are good humans and who are not. And I am very discerning. So I choose and select every person who works for me. I interview everyone. They go only through me. And I make every selection. My team may suggest this makes sense. And, I really do remove toxicity right away. In my life in general, I'm incredibly courageous around who gets my energy and who doesn't, and then why. And I'm accountable to myself for that. Like, no, Allison, like, that's just not good for you. Not in a selfish way, in a healthy way, in the healthiest way I know possible, right? But your tribe is key. My husband is key. He's epic, right? He's a fantastic partner. I mean, he doesn't always like applaud me when I win something. He's like, oh, really? Another one? I'm like, shut up. Just come on. We have a very good life and partnership together. My best friends, that my tribe, women friends couldn't be more important for women. And I know a lot of successful, powerful women that do not have the women friends. And honest and being vulnerable and being, sharing your magic, but you don't have to be anybody different than who you are, if you can believe that. But my tribe is powerful and strong, and I lean on them. And I'm vulnerable with, okay, this has come up. I actually don't know. I need all of your guidance and thought.
And what type of tribe do you have? Is it a group of women you've known for a long time? Are you always adding? Like, what kind of friendship builder are you?
I am a connector for sure. My key tribe are a group of, 5 to 7 women who I can lean on for anything. Anything in my world. It can be, oh my God, can you come and help me get dressed for a gala? To, I've got the most difficult business situation and I need you. They've been in my life a long time, between 40 and 20 years. But then I have a lot of other amazing people in my life that, like, I've met through business or through building for them that have become really important people to me. And they are also really good friends. And I can lean on them in different ways. I don't keep adding. I'm very, I only have so much time and energy. But my people that are my people, I am in their life. I am texting. I'm following up. I bring people together. I help rise people up too.
When you think about giving advice to that next generation or that up and coming leader, what is the advice that you give that's the hardest for you to adhere to?
I tell everybody the most powerful thing you can be is accountable and honest with yourself. I am accountable and I am honest with myself, but that is a challenging thing all the time. To hold yourself as accountable as you hold others.
So what does that look like for you when you talk about like being honest with yourself? Do you kind of bring yourself to account every day at like the end of the day, and are you critical?
Not the end. No, not the end of the day. Probably through the whole day. And am I critical? No, I actually give myself a lot of grace. I will laugh, like I'll go, holy shit, that was a big meeting and you killed it, or you should have smartened up about that comment. You shouldn't have. But I'm like, it's okay, Allison. You are your own best friend and support. And if you're critical of yourself and your consciousness, you're deeply critical of yourself and your subconsciousness. So you must not, if you want to thrive in your life. Yeah, I really watch that. And no, I'm not critical of anything. I think I'm my biggest champion.
That's hard.
Yeah, I don't carry it through the day. People who do carry it, and it is a burden and it grows. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I do. I feel like I am critical with myself, but I think it's in my own best interest. And I don't know if it is.
No, it's not. No. Critical is different than accountable.
Right. But I'm in the stage, I will be like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Or you shouldn't have said that. Or gosh, but I think I'm being self-reflective. Sorry, this is not a Nuveen Peters therapy session.
It's a little bit of,
but you know what?
But that's different, right?
Yeah, but that's important advice, because we often are told to hold ourselves to account, but that errs on the side of being overly critical with ourselves.
But accountability and being critical are different again. Like I shouldn't have done that. What you really should say is, what could I learn from that?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, switch that up. Just switch a couple words in that sentence. And what did I learn? What would I do different tomorrow? No problem. There's wisdom being grown versus diminishing yourself.
So your team you have a lot of women on your team.
Yeah, 65%.
And I imagine that their exposure to somebody who, like, I am feeling it, like, you don't give a shit what I care about you, what I think about you. I love that. Have you witnessed members of your team's personality change or, confidence build just in witnessing a woman in a position of power have that mentality?
You know what? My team, I very much commit to the people I hire. And a lot of women on my team have said, I would not be who I am today if I didn't face the challenge of working for you.
Okay, talk about parenting. I need to switch on the heels of that.
Oh,
do you parent in the same way that you manage people?
Yeah, it's tough. Yep. My kids are unbelievable. Couldn't be more different than me. My daughter, she's 24. I have a son who's 27 and a son who's 30. But they are so different. They all taught me so many things. They don't run as fast as I do. They teach me to slow down. They don't think the same way. We raised our kids to be individuals, but I also over-parented them by wanting them to understand, like by not being a consultant, but by being such a manager. I pulled off that at least 4 or 5 years ago, which is probably a bit late, but it's been really powerful to build a better relationship with my kids. I just respect them. They're on their own journey. They don't care about the same things I totally care about, but our values and our principles are totally aligned. And that's actually what matters. Yeah. But when I see them doing dumb shit, I'm like, that is so stupid and dumb, you dumbass. Smarten up. Why would you do that? Like,
we all get a bit of that, like candid, unfiltered feedback.
Yeah. Like when I'm on the dance floor with my kids, we dance our asses off. When we're in a discussion, we'll discuss it hard. When they don't agree with me, fine. We can discuss that. And I need to hear what you have to say, but we can go our separate ways on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are a decisive leader. Would you
Yeah.
say you're consultative?
Yes. I would say I'm collaborative. I would say I'm consultative. I would say I'm frickin' decisive. And if I make a call, because my instinct tells me the way it's going to go, it's that way. And most of my team will say, holy shit, we wanted to do something different and you knew, and we just, skirted a major issue. But I am very decisive and I do not apologize for being clear about what exactly is going to happen. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a ton of energy. How do you decompress at the end of the day?
Okay, so I do have a lot of energy, but I love to have an infrared sauna for 20 minutes. I love to watch the best TV show. My husband and I always have a show going together.
Okay.
Together. Never, I don't, yeah. I will watch my own binge something, sometime, but we do that every night. We go for a good walk with our dog. Very normal, lovely, amazing things. We choose who we're going to see. We do. Yep. And Kevin and I live, very common, like together lives, but we also, my life, I don't go home and talk about all the stuff at work all the time because I actually can independently handle that. Yeah. If I need him, he's there. But I decompress by my own time, with him and our life, eating a good meal. Yeah, that's cooked for us. I do not cook that meal.
Well, you know what? It's important to know what you're good at and what you're not.
And actually, but I'm really a good cook, honestly. I can cook up a wicked dinner. It's just time. So we have that taken care of at home, that the meal is good, it's healthy, it's exactly what we need. Yeah, and it allows Kevin and I to have more time together too. But on weekends, we fully cook.
You have to prioritize.
Yeah.
So what other lifestyle / successful boss lady hacks do you have?
Well, do you want to hear my morning today?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So I wake up pretty much at the same time, and I don't wake up to an alarm. I wake up around between 6:15 and 6:30, just naturally. I wake up and I'm up. I take my phone. People say, don't touch your phone I'm like, nope, my phone's right there. People say, don't do that. I do because I can scan if there's been anything significant that I needed to know. Because we build houses, it's 24/7. There's floods, there's fire, there's issues, So I check that. I grab a big bottle of water with my lemon and a big cup of coffee. And I basically make sure that I'm getting some natural light I go out on my covered deck. It can be cold. I turn my heaters on and I have 15 minutes of my own time. I have more than 15, but I'm outside or trying to get some light into my eyes for 15. And then I go sit in my most favorite spot in my morning room, and I'm 45 minutes of just taking my own time. Do I want to read that news? I will. Do I want to actually look at Instagram? I will. Do I want to sit down and text my mom and my aunt? I do. That is my time. So, but by 7:30, 7:45, I'm in my workout. And I work out with 2 epic friends and a trainer. We've been on FaceTime together for 12 years.
Oh my goodness.
3 times a week. They are my counsel. And we work out hard. And I work out and our trainer leads us, and it's in my own gym. Everyone's at home. I do that. I'm off and out of my workout by 9. I do a 20-minute really fast walk, but I've been answering emails and on conference calls from 9 on. Then I get more ready, and I had a conference call before I came here. Now I'm here, but I've done my workout. That's 3 days a week, and my walking is 5 or 7. But you don't put pressure on yourself in the morning, other than I don't have little kids anymore. But even when I did, I still took half an hour. Yeah. And then the end of the day is always another walk. Infrared sauna might be your biggest longevity hack ever. And it's a powerful tool for busy women. Yeah, it is detoxifying. It's a lot of power in that from a health standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That balance between that balance between, responding to emails, being on, like, go, when we now have a work culture where it's like sit. And particularly now, if people are on Zoom or people don't want to go into the office, we're sitting all the time. So I love the fact that you start your day, or that you're also multitasking while you're out walking.
I am multitasking. So I will take a conference call and I will hit to walk for 30 minutes. And I don't apologize I'm out. I'm not like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm pretending to be someone else. Nope. This is what I'm doing, but I'm here for you. And I'm good to do that. It doesn't matter. I take my life everywhere with me, to the Okanagan, to Maui. I spend 6 to 8 weeks in Maui a year, and I am walking and on conference calls. And I don't pretend to be exactly sitting in my seat being, just that. Yeah.
So final question of the day, top 3 favorite books.
Oh, mother of God. I read so many books. I'm a voracious reader. That's my other downtime. When I go to bed, which I'm always in bed by 9:30, I will read for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And I read a book a week, probably. So I think The Red Tent was one of epic.
The women during, like, the historical time of, like, Moses.
Unbelievable.
It's a great book.
Okay, so read that one. Broken. Was it called Broken? Unbroken? The book about the Olympic. He was an Olympic runner, but then he had to go fight in World War II, but he was captured by the Japanese.
Gosh.
Unbroken.
Okay.
Unbroken.
Put it on our
Yeah.
list.
Powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm reading one right now called Poets Cafe, and it is another. I love historical reality fiction, but it's called fiction, but it's nonfiction. And this one is about a postcard that came to a family in the 1980s. But it was a postcard from the 40s, and her entire family had been extinguished in Auschwitz, and but she had survived. And why was this postcard with just all their names and some information? And it's going back into time to figure out what happened. I love that. But I read a book every week. I could give you 42 more. I just actually finished one of the best books I've ever read. I'm going to text it to you, but I forget the title. I was just in Vietnam and I wrote it on the 14-hour stupid plane.
We'll have to get it from you and put it on the website.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
all of our listeners wondering, what is the name of that book?
Yeah.
But I think leaving you guys with, and everybody listening, is, really just believing in yourself. Sounds so cliche, but it is the foundation to a life where you can thrive and get, and choose your path. We are capable of anything. I walked into another industry, all men. Who cares? Right on. I love men. I'm a woman. Great. We come together. We do better things. I've changed it probably because of my womanhood, my femaleness. Right on. I am so grateful to be a woman. And I think you need a good mentor in your life. You need good friends in your life. You need people you can trust. And anyone you can't trust, remove them right now from your life. Be brave and dream the life you want. And it doesn't always come fast. It's with hard work, grit, perseverance, clarity, and good decisions.
That's a great message. Thank you for being here. Also, CIWB winner for small medium business for this year. So thank you for joining us.
What an honor.
In all of our events.
It is probably the most remarkable event that I ever went to, and the group of people that have been awarded, I was so honored to be one of them.
We're delighted to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Wonderful.
The Quiet Part Out Loud is produced by Access Connects and brought to you by, oh wait, is there a sponsorship opportunity there? Learn more at accessconnects.com.